All right, so I think we have Charlie here. This is going to be Charlie Hides. He is a YouTube phenomenon. The past 3 years has just been pumping out the best parodies and best little sketch comedy pieces. I'd say he's the best, one of the best things I've seen to come out of London. Not that there's not lots of things lovely in London. I love you, London.
Doctor Who.
But yeah, and I would put him right up there with the French and Saunders, and I'm hoping for great things. Do we have you here, Charlie?
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So, Charlie, Buddy and I have probably spent the last 3 or 4 days just completely watching everything that you've had out on YouTube right now and Charlie Hides TV. Tell our listeners a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm a comedian that does celebrity impersonations, and I do a lot of... over the years, I've become known for doing feuds between Madonna and Lady Gaga, and where I play all the parts, and with people like Cher and Liza Minnelli and the Kardashians, and I've done parodies of Katy Perry and Miley Cyrus and Elton John and Victoria Beckham and Justin Bieber. So basically, I play all the parts myself, and I do the best that I can to look like them, and because I've got experience with costume design and makeup. So yeah, I take pop cultural moments and then give them a twist and serve them up on YouTube.
Now, let me tell you, I've enjoyed so much
Is that a fair description?
I think that's a fair description.
What I watched.
I was introduced to you with one of your videos, and I think there's actually 3 or 4 of them now, or in versions of it. The Shit Cher Says.
Okay.
I'm a huge Cher fan. Our listeners know that. I've just seen her 3 times in the past 2 months as she's touring over here. Your Cher is just it's I don't want to say spot on, but you get her so well and bring so much humor to that. Now, I would imagine having to embody something like that. Would you consider yourself to be a huge Cher fan yourself?
I definitely a fan, yeah. And I'm really, really pleased that although I'm sort of poking fun at her, that she enjoys it as well. When she first started following me on Twitter, I was thrilled, and it was like Christmas and my birthday all rolled into one, and then I just thought, oh no, she's watching what I'm doing. I didn't want to, but she got it. She got that. Yeah, I'm making gentle fun, and I tend not to do impersonations of people I don't like. I've been asked you should do Honey Boo Boo, or you should do the Housewives, Real Housewives, and just to watch that, to actually do the research and watch that, would just do my head in. So I tend to do people who I'm a genuine fan of, like some of the Lana Del Rey fans have gotten mad at me. Oh, you're making fun of Lana Del Rey. Well, I love her. I saw her live in concert. I think she's amazing. But yeah, I'm poking fun at her. I don't think it's mean-spirited. There's no malice behind it. And I think Cher saw that instantly. I think she's been around long enough to know, hey, usually it takes a fan to be able to pick up on all the nuances and to go through all the effort to try to look and do the research and look as much as I can. Like, it's not like I'm just slapping on a curly wig and go, yeah, if I could turn back time, woo! You know what I mean? I really make an effort. So I think she really appreciates that, as well as some of the other people that I play. When I've heard from them, they've been sort of flattered that I included them in my cast of what I call, divas and top-rate people. Every now and then I'll do a impersonation of someone, and I'll get Cher and Madonna and Gaga fans saying, but they're not an A-lister. Why did you do them? So I think the idea that if you're being parodied, you must have made it. I think most of the celebrities they sort of they take that view that, hey, if no one knew who I was, they wouldn't I wouldn't be impersonated.
Now, Charlie, Robert and I like to try our hand at some impersonations ourselves. We're not necessarily great at it. It's definitely your forte. At what point? What made you realize that you had this talent to kind of put on whoever you want to.
I've got 9 brothers and sisters. And I'm number 7. So to stand out, I had to be a bit of an entertainer. So I was always tap dancing on the coffee table or doing jokes, or I had a knack for being able to watch, say, an episode of Saturday Night Live and recreate it the next day for my brother, my younger brothers who had been sent to bed early, and I would I would do all the sketches, and I would do the voices, and I would remember it all, and I would play all the parts, and I just sort of had the head for it, and I would do it on the playground at school. I would do vocal impersonations of, like, cartoons, or, I'd do Marge Simpson. Bart, Lisa, did you eat those delicious, scrumptious chocolate chip cookies? Bart, stay away from Sideshow Bob. I think he's a pedophile. So I would do an impersonation of my headmaster, a school principal, and I could call out someone's name, like one of my classmates' names, and just say, report to my office at 3:30. And he would look around, and, of course, this poor SOB would actually go to the principal office at 3:30. So I would do impersonations of the nuns that I went to school with, and on the playground I'd just make fun of them, and usually got away with it and didn't get caught.
That's amazing.
Just translated into celebrities later on, and I sort of have, in terms of the look, I sort of have a bland, nondescript face, so that I can use makeup to paint on my face the celebrity I want to be. My face isn't too long. It's not too round. It's not too square. It's not too, there's nothing really distinguishing. My nose is average. My chin is average. So if I want to be fatter, I can make myself look fat. If I want to be thinner, I can make myself look thinner. And that's how I'm able to look like so many different people. And then I sort of have a rubbery face.
Now, you already have a wide repertoire of divas that you do. What were some of the next ones that you plan on tackling?
I've been doing the research on Celine Dion, because people say, you've never done Celine Dion, and I think that's a rich comedy vein of that I could mine with her, because she's got that funny Canadian, I've learned to speak English accent, but sometimes you don't think she's, you can tell that English isn't her first language. So I think I could have fun with that. And her husband, Renee, is 107, and he's pulling all the strings. So I think I could have fun with that. Beyonce, I've got to do Beyonce. I've never done her. I've done a little bit of Rihanna here and there. Let's think, who else? I mean, those are the first two that are coming to mind right now that I'd like to play around with.
And one of my favorites of yours is actually Kris Jenner from the Katy Perry parody video.
Oh, right. Well, I also did a full episode of The Kardashians where I played Kris, and she's appeared every now and then in different videos, but that's the one impersonation that it scares me when I do it, and I look in the mirror and I see it looking back at me. Like if I get dressed up as Joan Rivers or Elton John or Simon Cowell, when I look in the mirror, I see Charlie with a funny wig on or funny glasses. But when I put Kris Jenner on, when I look in the mirror, it's scary, because I actually see, I look, what is Kris Jenner doing in my house? I turn around and she's behind me, because that's the one, if you're gonna look like anybody, why couldn't it have been someone a bit nicer? But anyway, yeah, that's I have fun doing Kris Jenner, and I think I've only scratched the surface of what I can do with the Kardashians, because they're everywhere.
Now, let me ask you, how long have you been at this, especially on YouTube and with Charlie Hides TV?
I started doing YouTube videos 3 years ago. Well, my first video to go viral was July 12th, 3 years ago, and I'd been doing videos for a few months before that, and had at that point about 1,000 subscribers, and my average video would get about 2,500 views. And then I put up the first Madonna Gaga Nightmare. It was the video where Madonna was calling Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga was in the news all the time at that point, and her career was white hot, and no one was talking about Madonna. So Madonna called Gaga, said, "Give me my career back. You took all the gays. I want my gays back." And so Madonna has a bit of a meltdown with Lady Gaga, saying, "Who? I've never heard of you," and then hangs up on her. And That video went viral, and all of a sudden it had like 250,000 views in a week. And then all of a sudden I had like 20,000 subscribers rather than just 1,000 subscribers. But that's sort of when I became, my videos started getting played all over the world and getting posted on blogs and all over Facebook. But prior to that, I had done videos for a couple of months doing my LaQuisha Jones videos, and I did a Scream 4.5 parody. And really, I first started my YouTube channel, when YouTube started. But I didn't like the quality of they were really pixelated, they were really low quality. So I sort of didn't want to. I would make videos for my live shows, and I'd put them up, use them in my live show. But then when I tried to upload them to YouTube, the codec that they were using was just really, really pixelated, and oftentimes the lip sync didn't match up, and so I just didn't do it. So really, it was about 3.5 years ago when they switched to HD. As soon as YouTube switched to HD, then I was like, okay, I'm in. I like this medium. I like this format, and the rest is history.
No, and it really seems to like you back. Now, do you feel that there's ever there's hopes in the future for something with the networks or something?
Well, I'm living. You mentioned to your audience, although I have this American accent, I live in London. I've lived here for 15 years. And so I did a TV pilot with a TV channel over here. They aired almost 3 months ago, and they actually have a 3-month window to option the series. So we're waiting to hear this week if they're going to option the series. And I heard from the exec producer just a few days ago saying, okay, so they want to know if you get commissioned, what new characters, currently popular characters, would you also do in the show? So they're still interested and still talking about it, and we could have an answer just this coming week. And if that happens, it will really change my life, because it'll mean the next year working full out, putting together that series. Because I did, I think, 24 characters, standard TV half hours, 22 minutes of comedy, and I think I did 24 or 6 characters in that half hour, or in that 22-minute show. So it'd be a lot of sketches, a lot of work, and a lot of effort in the next year if that happens.
So I don't know if you can talk too much about it, but if you got the deal, what would the the title of the show be? Would you consider staying with the Charlie Hyde's TV, or would you have a different name for your show?
It was just called the Charlie Hyde Show. The thing is, they can't replace you if the show is called your name. So yeah, I think just to make it simple. And because I play so many different characters, I mean, Little Britain, it was a great name because it was Matt Lucas and David Williams, so they just called it Little Britain. And Catherine, I don't know if you've seen the Catherine Tate show over there, but she does different characters and everything. Yeah, and they just, you just call it Tracy Ullman just called it the Tracy Ullman Show. And so I think it's just easier. Hey, if you're going to have to build a brand, why have to try to explain to someone, oh, yeah, my name is Charlie Hyde, but I have a show called, I don't know, Juice.
Who would you say, comically speaking, I don't know what generation you're specifically from, if you're the French and Saunders type. Who's your comic hero? Who inspired you to get into this comedy?
Well, I mean, the whole SNL sort of back catalog, the types of stuff that they've done over the years, because I don't do like impersonations where I try to do a dead-on, spot-on, like exactly. I do what sort of Saturday Night Live does: take the idea of a character and then make an original character that's inspired by that celebrity. To give it a twist and give it something different. So SNL was a huge influence. Tracy Ullman was a huge influence. Even people like Lily Tomlin. As a kid, I watched old Lily Tomlin stuff, where she would play 10 characters in one half-hour sitcom. Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor and The Clumps, playing all the different characters all in one scene. That kind of thing really inspired me. That really got my nipples hard. Seeing that, saying, I'd love to do that. Play all the parts in one scene. I don't know whether it's greedy or egomania, But for me, just the technical challenge of how to pull that off and execute it, it's just really, it's a lot of fun. So Catherine Tate inspired me. Little Britain inspired me. I guess lots of different people who are funny and then wear lots of different costumes and do play lots of different characters. Those are the people that excite me and inspire me.
Any chance that we'll be seeing any collaborative works with any comedians or anybody in this art form right now?
Well, I'd love to say yes. But it's a hell of a lot easier said than done. Sherry Vine and I have been wanting to work together for ages, but she lives in New York and I live in London, and we were just on a cruise together in the Baltic this past week. But we were doing shows on different days, and on the day that you don't have a show, you don't really want to put on a face and write a sketch and perform, and we couldn't bring really good lighting or anything with us, and all the technical capabilities that I was just afraid that it would look half baked if we did something on board the ship, and it wouldn't be up to the standards that my audience is used to. So things like that, just the logistics of getting someone. Sometimes I have an idea at 2 a.m, and I just say to my partner James, it's like, tomorrow at 11 we're going to get up and we're going to film this, and then we're going to get it online really, really quickly. And so how do you call up Lady Bunny in New York or RuPaul and say, girl, I want you to do something with me, or another YouTuber, because a lot of what I'm doing is responding to pop cultural things. So if I wake up tomorrow and find out that, I don't know, Sharon Osbourne has slapped a flight attendant, I'm going to try to write a video and get it online really, really quickly. And so it's hard to collaborate with someone on when your thing is that you respond to pop cultural moments really quickly.
I would say that is probably one of the biggest ordeals. I know, one of my favorite comedy or parody video guys has always been Weird Al Yankovic, his contract just ended, so he's no longer going to put out any CDs. He's going to stick to the internet age and do exactly what you're trying to do. Basically, as the media hits, he's going to try to get a song out there right away. Basically right online or a video site. But I have to ask you, and this is probably a very easy question to answer, but out of all of the impersonations that you do, which one is your favorite?
I really enjoy playing Cher because she's an icon, and I've put a comic twist on it that makes it fun for me to do it. But actually, when I play Madonna's daughter Lourdes, I really enjoyed that because I've made her a stroppy teenager that is telling her mother off, and maybe I'm enjoying it because I enjoy playing original characters more than I enjoy playing celebrities, and because no one really knows what Lola sounds like or her attitude is, I've sort of created a character for her that's probably wide off the mark and nothing like her. But whenever I write a script, I think, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. So, I think the answer really is I enjoy original characters more than celebrities. Celebrities get views and they get attention on me. But as a performer, as an artist, as an entertainer, I like writing for original characters and playing original characters.
Definitely, and we enjoy watching you play those characters.
Thank you.
There is one thing I have to ask you that, as it's one of my favorite videos that you have up there. How did the Kylie Minogue video happen? How did you come upon that little gem?
Okay, well, I get asked that all the time. So the short answer is a friend of hers, because the gay community is really, really small. All gays know each other, apparently.
Yes, we do.
A friend of hers started showing her my early videos before the Madonna Gaga things sort of went viral when I was doing LaQuisha Jones. And so backstage, on tour, they would watch my videos. And Kylie knew all the lines, and they had a name for her because LaQuisha's name is LaQuisha LaWanda LaMela Shika Agadisha Jones. And Kylie had a name like Benicia, Manisha, Wanisha, whatever. And so just a fan, and she would every now and then she'd tweet my videos, or she started following me on Twitter early, and sometimes she'd retweet them and leave comments and be really encouraging. And so when I did a video with Kim Wilde, my partner James said, "Why don't you just ask Kylie if she'll do one with you?" So I sent her a message on Twitter saying, "Hey, would you be interested?" And she came back right away with saying, "I've been waiting for you to ask for ages." So she said, "Send me a script." So I wrote the script and sent it to her, and she came back right away with, "I just have to run it by my management, but I'm going to tell them that I'm doing it." And she said, "I'm out of the country," because she lives in London most of the year. She was in New York recording, and said, I'll get in touch as soon as I'm back." And so about a month later, I thought, I haven't heard from her. She's probably never going to call me again. I got a message saying, "Okay, back in the country, and how do we make this happen? And how's tomorrow?" And of course, I was really busy, and I said, "I've got nothing planned for tomorrow." And yeah, we basically went to hers, and she said, she asked me, what do you want me to wear? And I just thought it'd be funny if Kylie Minogue was sitting around in a big headdress, like as if Kylie Minogue just sits around in headdresses all the time. And she totally went with it, and she got that I was kind of doing a play on who's on first, what's on second. And she just went along with it, and was a lot of fun and really, really easy to work with, and incredibly gracious and incredibly supportive, and a big fan, because she was quoting lines to me from videos that I had forgotten I'd made. So that's the quickest version of that story.
Charlie, I also have to ask you, probably my personal favorite video. I love all of the videos you've made.
You are way too kind.
I really have. It's one of my favorite things to do at the end of the day, is to pull up one of the videos, just because I love the Divas too, and who doesn't love to see somebody parody them in good spirit? One of the things, being a huge Cher fan, like my listeners know, when Cher Lloyd came along, there was just this awful, I couldn't Google Cher anymore without finding this extra now. The Cher Lloyd video, how did that come about? Was that something you thought of? Was it a suggestion?
No, it came from me. I don't remember the sometimes I remember, I was on the treadmill at the gym, or I was walking the dogs when an idea comes to me. I don't remember. I just remember that she had Cher Lloyd had broken America, because she was on X Factor here in the UK, and I think she came maybe she's in the top 4. But Simon Cowell really saw something in her and got behind her and knew that she'd be good in America. So same sort of thing. The Cher name, you'd put Cher into Google, and there'd be pictures of Cher Lloyd. So I just ran it through my comedy filter of what would my comic version of Cher think. And then I remember, now that you're taking me back there, I'm pretty sure, didn't Cher tweet what WTF is a Cher Lloyd, or Cher? Somebody asked her on Twitter, like, what do you think of Cher Lloyd? And she said, Cher Lloyd who? Which is life imitating art. And so then I just thought, well, what would Cher think? And what if Cher called her agent and said, what are we going to do about this Cher Lloyd situation? That's pretty much. And then I decided, because I really enjoy playing my original characters, like Stanley Blackstone, who is Cher's agent and also manages Madonna's agent, and Gaga's book agent. I try to get my original characters anyway. I just decided that my Maureen character needed to be Stanley's secretary. So when Cher says, "Hiya, Cher," and Maureen says, "Who?" Never heard of you. I just thought that would be a good way of making Cher feel like she's old and obsolete. And anyway, that's talking about a video that's 2 years old is hard on my brain.
Something just to let you know, all of our listeners, so our listeners, we will be challenging to do it and leave us messages on the website. But tonight we are going to be taking the Chubby Bunny Challenge. That was a video, and another one that I know lots of people have enjoyed recently. Tell us a little bit about where your Mariah comes from.
Well, the funny thing about my version of Mariah is it's not too far off of the kind of diva, ironic thing that Mariah herself does. Mariah, kind of with a wink and a great sense of, she's probably one of the funniest pop stars ever, because Madonna famously has had her comic, her funny bone surgically removed.
Yes.
She's just not funny at all or self-aware. Mariah is naturally really, really funny in interviews. She's quick, she's smart, she's self-deprecating. So she does this whole darling thing, which is give me the champagne, darling. That she becomes almost like over-the-top Tallulah Bankhead, Joan Crawford, playing up to the audience's perception that she is a diva. And that's so I just take what she's already cranked up from a 9 to a 10, and I just crank it up to an 11. With Mariah. But if you look at, there's different every celebrity, they sort of have gestures and mannerisms and way they hold their head, and I just try to watch as many videos as I can and incorporate as many of those little tics, those little, I call them isms. And so Mariah sometimes strokes her hair and she says darling a lot, and that's it. That's how you do it. And then I just put as much makeup on as my face as I can, because she slaps it on.
So, is there anything within the next few weeks that we should be looking for, other than keeping our fingers crossed about the network show?
Well, Madonna's birthday is August 15th, 16th, somewhere around there. And I think I have to do something for her birthday. I think I've got to revisit The Nightmare, because now Gaga's career is no longer white hot, is no longer stratospheric. She's no longer photographed 3 times a day changing her outfits. And her album didn't do so well, and the tour hasn't done so well, that I think the tables may have turned in terms of Madonna could be calling up Gaga, and rather than saying, I want my K's back and you've stolen all the attention, Madonna might be gloating. So I think possibly I might be saying, remember my last tour was the #1 grossing tour of the year. And just, I don't know, I think I could have some fun with Madonna gloating. Because Madonna's weight has pretty much stayed exactly the same throughout her career. She's never had a phase where people said, oh, look at her, Madonna's gained weight. She hasn't been like, a Kirstie Alley, up and down. But Gaga has had several times where she's gone from thin to porked out, then thin to porked out. So, Madonna might have some fun with that. And I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a Mediterranean cruise next week with Sherry Vine and Pam Ann. So we're going to try to do something together collaboratively while we're on board the ship. Possibly a challenge, something like the Ferrero Rocher challenge, where you try to see how many Ferrero Rochers you can eat in 2 minutes.
Oh man,
that would be fun. I mean, that's not a hard challenge to get me to say yes to.
Oh man. So I guess after thinking about it for a little bit, I have two divas that I would love to see you try out. One of them being Barbra Streisand, because I absolutely love Barbra Streisand.
You haven't seen Charlie's Barbra?
I've probably not seen that video.
Okay, well, I haven't done I haven't done Barbra. Contemporary, current Barbra. What I've done is I've used Barbra several times, almost as though she's kept the costume on from playing Roz Fokker in Meet the Fockers. So
okay, I have seen that one then.
Yeah, she's appeared several times, and in one of the videos, I think it was Madonna's Diva Nightmare, Madonna's Gaga Nightmare Part 2. She's actually playing a therapist, and Madonna actually goes to this therapist to tell her about these nightmares that she's been having, and Barbra Streisand is the therapist. So I have done Barbara a couple of times, but I think I would like to do Barbara in the Donna Karen, concert when she does a concert look with the long nails and what a lovely audience you are. I'm married to James Brolin, and do Barbara more like the Brooklyn Jewish mama. Have a little. I'm a little ishkabibble. I'm feeling that kind of Barbara.
Absolutely.
With the shoulder length blonde hair with the extensions and all that. But what's the other one?
My other one is my mom's absolutely favorite, icon. She died on August 4th, and my mom was born on August 4th, and that would be Marilyn Monroe. My mom always considers herself the reincarnation of Marilyn.
Ah, right.
I thought that would be an absolute fabulous impersonation.
Okay,
from the dress to...
Okay, well, this is the thing. I am very close friends with the world's #1 Marilyn impersonator. Her name is Susie Kennedy, and she did a guest appearance. I did a video about a year ago. It was an impersonation of Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, I'm Teresa Caputo, and I'm a psychic medium, and I would like to read you. That whole thing. Larry, I'm getting nervous here. I'm schwitzing. Can you hear this, Larry? Anyway, in that video, I did. I'm good. I'm picking up a psychic vibe right now. I can tell. Okay. The taller of the two of you, I'm picking up something. Was your grandfather is standing behind you, and he's giving me a salute? Was your grandfather in the military? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Everyone's grandfather served in the military. Anyway, so I did. I did this video with Madonna, Cher, Lady Gaga, Joan Rivers, Lana Del Rey. They were all at Madonna's house, and Teresa Caputo was giving them a psychic reading. And then Michael Jackson came through, and Liza Minnelli came through, and Marilyn Monroe came through, and I think maybe Amy Winehouse and Bette Davis come through. But my friend Susie played Marilyn in that video, and because she's such a knockout and she's so good at it, there's a part of me that thinks, well, why would I even bother? Why would I give myself that challenge when I can just call up Susie? So it's one of those things that so many people have done over the years. I don't know that there's anything more that I can add to, like, Jimmy James did such a fabulous Marilyn Monroe back in the 80s and 90s. I don't think anybody could ever really top it. So I think you might have to wait on that one. But I will give you a good current Barbara. How's that?
Awesome. Now, we do something with every one of our guests. We play a little game called...
I don't want to know what you do with every one of your guests. Probably rude, and I'm a good Christian.
We play a little game called Playing Favorites. It's basically first thing that comes to the top of your head. We're going to ask you a couple, rapid fire questions, and the first thing that comes to your head, answer with that. So we're going to start that off. Zach, why don't you start it off?
All right, Charlie. So first response: who is your favorite singer?
Barbra Streisand.
All right, your favorite color?
Red.
All right, your favorite actor?
Robert De Niro.
Favorite season?
Season, autumn.
Okay, your favorite diva?
Diva, Mariah, darling.
Favorite accent?
Favorite accent? Cockney, darling. Oh, I do love it when someone speaks with a Cockney accent.
Oh, and so do we. Favorite food?
Food, pizza, and chocolate. And chocolate pizza would be good.
Favorite film?
Favorite film, The Hunger, starring Catherine Deneuve and David Bowie.
Your favorite guilty pleasure?
Favorite guilty pleasure? Currently watching The Kardashians. Don't tell anybody.
And last but not least, your favorite radio show?
The Left and Right Show.
Yes! That was the correct answer. Thank you so much, Charlie.
You're very welcome.
Charlie, anything that you would like to to plug, anything that you'd just like to let our local listeners know about yourself that you just you want to put out there while you're on Philadelphia radio right now?
Just if they're ever feeling sad or tired or lonely or depressed, they should just go to my YouTube channel, Charlie Hides TV, on YouTube, and they'll have a good laugh, and it'll make them feel better, and they'll smile, and their day will be improved. And if they know anybody who's feeling depressed or sad or lonely, they can just send them one of the links to one of my videos, and it will cheer them right up.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. We would really like, before we go, and it's been a pleasure again, especially keep us in the loop. We're going to be looking for the network deal, and we hope we think everything good that can come to you should come to you. We're huge fans. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you again.
What a fantastic interview.
Just amazing. I mean, I was so excited. Just to be on Cher's radar, I think, makes you a fabulous, fabulous celebrity. Cher actually commented on Charlie's work. She was interviewed, and she was asked of all the impersonators that are out there of her, who's her favorite. She said, some people are so hysterical, I would never have thought to do the things they do online. There's a guy, Charlie Hides, who does me, Lady Gaga, and Madonna. He's brilliant. We think you're brilliant too, Charlie. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
All right, so we're going to head to a musical break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stick around for more of the Left and Right Show on WNJC 1360 AM. And don't forget to call in. Again, the studio line is 856-227-1360. You could win a couple prizes, maybe a hug from Charlie Hides. Just totally kidding.
I want to win that.
But yeah, we'll be right back with your hosts,
Fluffy Bunny
and Little Zach. We'll be right back.